All right. So I'm a researcher. A lot of people don't understand. Um, it's for the multiverse. They think I'm just playing around. So they assume they can copy what I'm doing. Um, People who do good in the world, they're professionals at what they do. Whether it's a teacher, professor, a doctor, a researcher, um, they work really hard at what they do and they change the world. There's no such thing as superheroes and superheroines. There's no such thing. So if you listen to the language that people are using, you can find, okay, you can find and locate their academic, where they are academically. So the Mayans used to call, even if it's not real, rockets. It's in their like their hieroglyphs. They call rockets dragons. Okay? So if people are calling teachers and professors, researchers, people who do good in the world, people who change the world, physicists, Einstein, if people call them superheroes, you can identify their growth. They're very young. No matter their age, they're very young academically. They don't understand that you work really hard to get where you are. It doesn't happen by accident. There's no such thing as superheroes. There's no such things as dragons, flying snakes. All right, that's what the ancients used to call flying things, flying snakes, dragons. All right, that's probably where dragons came from. They saw a snake, called it a flying snake, put wings on it, and then you have a dragon. All right, not real. Um, so you can locate people very easily based on their language. All right, that's that's like young people, young minds. People who have a disease are easy to locate as well. All right, society is pretty easy. We get along very easy. If you don't get along with another person, you have a mental disease. It's that simple. If you don't get along with people, you have a mental disease. You're hallucinating. All right. Me, I've always gotten along with people. They don't get along with me, but me myself, I get along with people very easily. I've never had a mental problem. Um, but I do know other people do, so I'm very careful. I'm not shy. I'm not scared of them. I'm just very careful not to disturb them too much because they're going through something. They have issues. All right, that's one thing. And another thing for the multiverse, they think that, oh, Min is just playing with DeRosa, President DeRosa. That's not what's happening here. All right. You don't understand that this is an academic venue. You're in an academic institution. Min is taking an AP class, an independent studies class with DeRosa. This is not fun. This is not play. Min is taking it very seriously. That's why at the end of it, Min's like, oh, that was very hard. But it was just a class. It's nothing to panic about. It was just a class. All right, it was an AP class that DeRosa put together for men based on his skills. So when Min was done with it, he was like, dang, that was hard. That was a really hard class. It's an AP on your own class. So based on my own, you see Zoe starts coming in and Lauren starts, and then Fiona has questions and all these kids. Min has to deal with it. You're on your own. You have to deal with all that. But they don't know that. Lauren doesn't know that. Zoe doesn't know it's a class. It's just like when I was at Pacific, all of a sudden people start wanting to come to the art department where I work. And I have to learn how to deal with that. Right? The people start like, hey man, have you heard about Min on campus? Let's start going over there. I want to see his work. I want to know this kid. And I have to learn how to deal with that. All right? I was used to the art department as my sanctuary, my place. I get to be as creative as I want. But when people from the outside of the art department start coming in, it threw me off. And I have to learn how to deal with that. All right? I can't get mad at them. They're fellow students. They're my peers. I can't get mad at them. So I just had to adjust. It's the same thing with DeRosa's AP on your own class. Hey man, you're gonna have to deal with people. You're just gonna have to. That's what the world is. You're gonna have to deal with it. Yes, you are in independent studies. Yes, you are in the class, but Zoe's gonna start having questions. Your mom's gonna start having questions. Like, you know what I mean? And you just gotta deal with it while you're studying. While you can't put off your studies, and you can't put off family members and people who need your help. You have to learn how to multitask. You have to. Right? My brain's not wired for that. My brain's wired to do one thing. Focus. Focus on the task and don't let anyone distract you. And what DeRosa is trying to teach me is you can't always do that. Right? Life is going to get in the way. And you have to adjust to it. So what would take you maybe 3 years, it might take you 25 years. Because life gets in the way. So anyone with mental illness or anything like that, what should have been something easy might have taken 34 years. You have to accept that. That's life. It gets in the way. You just have to accept it. All right? So I have to accept that Zoe has questions and Lauren wants to play because she's bored, and Fiona has questions of her own, and Huang and Tang wants to play again, and I push them away and they're coming back, and Hong and them, and they have questions themselves, and now Dan Castle wants to mess with me while I'm in my independent studies, and I have to deal with it. And it'll take me what would take me 3 years to come up with the Truth Club is what I was supposed to do on campus. I was supposed to come up with a club. I didn't think of it. It just didn't occur to me. It never occurred to me to create a club, which I can do. It's very easy to do. And I know if I create it, it's going to be really good. I can throw parties and all that. It just never occurred to me to do that. So, so the 3 years passed, and the AP class should have been over, but it just took on longer. Right? And 25 years later, I just thought of the Truth Club. I should create a Truth Club. I just didn't think of it. 25 years. Right? Life gets in the way. So you just got to learn to accept it. So that's DeRosa's AP class where it's like, hey man, you can't get angry. You can't get angry. That's life. You can't get angry at life. Like, life is not a person. You just got to accept it. So with your focus, you thought would take maybe a day or 3 years, took 25 years. You just have to learn to accept that that's what it is. So I should have thought of a club in a day. It should have just came to me. But I just wasn't thinking in that direction, you know? And DeRosa knew that, hey man, you need to create a club. You need to get people involved, or else they'll start climbing on you. Just like Zoe and Lauren and the art department, they'll start doing that. If you don't create a space for them, they'll create the space themselves. So DeRosa's trying to teach me that, hey man, you need to do something. You need to create a space for them to do that, or else they wouldn't know what to do and they'll start crowding on you. So you need to learn these things. As when you create a business, when you create whatever in society, you need to learn this. People want more. What you create is not enough. All right? People want more, and you have to create more. All right? What you're thinking is, oh, I'm just going to create this one thing and that's enough. It's not. That's why you see a lot of people create fan pages. They create fan fiction. They create because they want more. And a lot of businesses today, they create one thing. That's it. That's not enough. You have to be better. That's what DeRosa's trying to teach me. You got to be better than that. If you say you are, you got to be better than that. You can't create one thing and go, nope, that's enough. We're not creating more. Right? You got to be better than Disney. You got to be better than ABC. You got to be better than Apple. You got to be better than Sony. You got to be better than them. So when I'm on my own, I'm like, whoa, they're crowding in. What is this? Because I'm new to this too. I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm just being me. I don't get it. Every day they're just like, we want more, we want more, we want more. I'm like, more what? Right? So I'm learning this as I go. So what I should have done was create Truth Club and throw parties on campus. You know, this is the Truth Club party, right? Throw parties and have people come that way where they know where to go instead of crowding me in my classroom, my art department where I work, right? Don't go there, come here, right? Although, like, you can also look at my art and stuff, but just don't crowd me at my job, at my work. So that's what DeRosa's trying to teach me. Is like, hey man, you're gonna have to do something here. You're gonna have to create a place of work, and then a place where people can come to and discuss things, how you envision it, but you can't let people crowd your workspace. Because that's what they did at Pacific. They just crowded my workspace and I couldn't get anything done. Right? I had to tell Dan Casser, I got one painting, man. They're crowding my space. They're always here. They're always gossiping. Not that I mind, it's in my workspace. And I can only get one art done. And then they're demanding more. I can't. You're crowding my space. So what do I do about it? I need to solve the problem. Not attack them. I need to solve it. So, so that's what was going on with me and DeRosa for the multiverse, and it's just an AP class. At the end of it, it was hard. It was a really hard class. They barely gave me any hints. Dan Casser, Lucinda, Dr. Slyer, Brett DeBoer, they didn't give me any hints. They're just like, nope, the class is going. No hints. That's life. No hints. You got to figure it out on your own. So it's an AP on your own class, and man, it was hard. Right? What they knew to do, they're like, oh, you got to create a club. I didn't know to do until 25 years later. Right? It's a class. It's a real class. I didn't know I was going to get crowded by people. I didn't know the hype level would be so high, and I didn't know. So it's like a work experience kind of thing. So DeRosa's trying to give me work experience. Like, hey man, people are gonna crowd you. You gotta learn how to deal with it. So, um, I kind of got a sense of it. It was a good class, good work experience. Um, I learned a lot. And now I have a better understanding of how to handle people and how to direct people. Like not over here when I'm working, more over here and create more products for them. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, in summary, watch people's language. You can figure out their academic status based on the language they use. If they use superheroes, they're very young. If they use professors, researchers, um, like, people of study, then they understand the academics of the earth because it's just an academic venue. And then third is DeRosa's giving me an AP class, an AP on your own class. And that's pretty much what I've been doing since college, since 19. It went on when I was 19, going into Pacific. It was activated like that. And I'm 34 now, and I just understood the class. Just understood the class. It's a hard class, man. So yeah, that's basically it. The three things: watch people's language. If you're using language like professors, teacher, school system, then you understand what the earth is. It's an academic venue. And DeRosa was giving me an AP on your own class. That's it. It activated when I was 19.